big reveal that we have with Mattel. You guys seen any of it yet? Alright, we get this party started here. Please welcome up Mattel's Senior Vice President and GM for the Girls' Toy Box, the woman who is solely responsible here for the astonishing detail to these fashion dolls. Please welcome Lori Patel from Mattel. Our WWE Superstars? Please welcome. She is the very first SmackDown Live Women's Champion, hailing from Dublin, Ireland, the Irish Glass Kipper, Becky Lynch. Nikki Bella. And also from Scottsdale, Arizona, the other half to Nikki Bella. Please welcome, we all love ourselves, a little Brie Bella. Boston, Massachusetts, she's a three-time Raw Women's Champion, the Boss. And last but certainly not least, from San Jose, California, everybody has WWE with Mattel and what we're doing here today.
So which mic is this?
I think that one. Whichever one. Follow your heart.
A lot of mics. Just kidding.
Take them all. Press conference style.
We at Mattel are a proud partner of WWE, and more importantly, are so excited to celebrate the women's evolution. These women up here are amazing role models, and for the first time ever, we are launching an entirely new product line that celebrates these amazing women. They are athletes, fashionistas, entertainers, and more importantly, they're role models for all of you in the room and around the world. And for the first time, we're going to bring to life these amazing powerhouses in a unique product line that will invite girls, boys, fans of all ages to really celebrate these amazing women. So what I'm going to do now is share a little bit of the product coming out. You'll see it on the screen behind me, and I wonder if I can stand. So.
Yeah, here, you want to switch? Sure.
Because we in corporate like to be entertainers as well. Thank you so much. I may actually host this next time.
Go for it.
All right. So when we think about play, we think about inviting fans to play with our brand. We think of a multitude of ways of allowing girls to play, and boys. So the first thing we're doing is we're introducing a line of fashion dolls that we'll kind of pick up. And what these fashion dolls are is they really embody the talent with articulation. Obviously, these are amazing athletes. But more importantly, you'll see all of our dolls, we'll bring them up, wearing iconic ring gear. But as many of you know who are women in the room or married to women, we are multi-dimensional.
Damn right.
We don't just like have one outfit, we like to have more than one. And And these girls also have amazing style at the ring that we're celebrating with this great assortment. And the first assortment, you've seen Nikki and Brie and Sasha and Natalia will be appearing. But we also know the bench is so deep and there's so much talent, and we, the fans, would want more. So we have a second assortment of dolls that again allow all of our fans to kind of recreate what they're seeing in the ring. And they're wearing fashions that are both from the ring, but also things that you've seen them wearing outside, because we know that that variety is important. And what we also know is really critical is all the fashions you see on all of the dolls can be mixed and matched. So even though these girls may not want to share their fashions, we know the fans will and dress them alike. And in this assortment we have Charlotte and Becky and even Marie and Alicia Fox. But again, we know that fans want more. So the next is what I like to call the ultimate beginning of your collection. This is a 5-pack of some of the characters you've already seen and girls in our line, but they're dressed in slightly different fashions because we know you adults don't want to get two of the same thing. We got them, okay? And in this line, you'll see Nikki, Brie, Natalia, Becky, and Sasha, and it's an amazing way to start off your collection. But beyond the fashion of this but we also know that there's other ways that our fans want to play, and we're also introducing action figures. Now, we know that action figures exist, and they're great, but these are gorgeous, okay? The details are amazing, and in here we'll go to the next slide and we'll say who we're featuring. We've got 3 of our amazing ladies. We've got Nikki, Brie, and Charlotte, all in the action figure scale in their iconic ring looks. And then we know how much play is really important, how kids want to emulate what they see on TV. This is the ultimate entrance play set. Now, all of you fans, right? There's 2 really big parts of any match, right? The entrance and the match. But for the girls, what happens behind the stage, right? We gotta look good. We have time to get ready. So now, in this play set, you can play out the getting ready, come out with your entrance, and then kick butt. All right? But there's more. The next is role play. So we know that many people want to emulate their favorite superstars. And now we're giving girls and boys a chance to really come to life with 2 great products. First, we've got our Bayley and Sasha action figs with their iconic accessories. And you know what those are. Yeah? See out there? Which one you get and which one's both? Ask mom and dad. Very simple. Which one's both? Get to it. Alright? And then, of course, the Raw Championship belt, which is so important because this is the first time that we've got our own championship belt for these amazing women. But we know you fans come here to see more, right? So we're going to share with you some sneak peek that's not even available yet. That will be available in 2018, which means likely be in stores like December, January, depending on your favorite retailer. So, Bayley. This is the first time Bayley appears as a fashion doll, and we know that she'll have... And because she's posable, she can even hug. To the room. And then, of course, Naomi will appear for the first time. How many of you have been to our booth, the Mattel booth? How many of you saw the Comic-Con exclusive? So, even though we've had a lot of flat pictures, and it looks great, but you guys want to see some product in real life, live? So, this is Lauren, who works on our team. Comic-Con exclusive. And I'm sure if I ask any of you, you will know immediately what these dolls are from. WrestleMania 32, the iconic match. And if you guys get close, and I welcome you to come to the booth, you will see every detail, almost like real life what they wore in their outfits, because we know that authenticity is really important, and we really want to celebrate the amazing part of what these women are doing. So look forward to many more seasons with these amazing, powerful role models. We're thrilled to be partnering with them. And now you've heard enough from a corporate voice. Now it's time to hear from the people you really came here to see.
Thank you very much, Lori. And just the detail that went into these action figures is unreal. So it's very cool to see it in real life. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to do a Q&A with the ladies up here, and then we're going to open it up to you guys to ask these ladies whatever questions you got up your sleeve. So this is going to I'm gonna go to all of you. Just being at the forefront of the women's evolution and everything you've been able to achieve over the last couple of years, especially in the women's division, how does it feel to be sitting here and see your own dolls like this, like your own fashion dolls?
Honestly, it's truly an honor. And it's crazy because I think when you look at these dolls, you just see a lot of hard work paying off. You see just everything that all of us women have done, from women in the past to the future to the present. This explains the evolution. And so for us, I think it's an honor. We need to take her everywhere with her. Yeah. Her?
You can't see You're awesome. See, what I was going to say, you're a good example, is all of this is also because of you guys showing your support, wearing our shirts and buying our action figures and our Be Fearless hats or the boss sunglasses, the tattoos, the goggles Becky has, like everything you guys do for us this is a big contribution. Like for us, this is amazing, but I hope little Sasha Banks right here is going to have a Sasha doll under her Christmas tree, Mom. It's amazing, so thank you guys.
You guys have been so busy, just creating history here in WWE, having Money in the Bank ladder matches twice, Hell in a Cell matches, Falls Count Anywhere matches. Do you guys ever get a chance to actually sit there and just reflect on what you've actually done and what you've been able to accomplish, like in that moment?
Sometimes, and here is another moment where you're like, okay, now we've got a line of dolls. Like it's unbelievable. I remember there was one time at WrestleMania 32, and it was just before we had the triple threat. And to be able to have such a marquee match and where we were able to bring in the new women's belt. And I remember sitting at Whole Foods and I just started crying, like just bawling, like what's wrong with that weird orange-haired girl in the corner, just crying. But it was like, when I started at 15, this didn't seem possible to have our, heads on the side of AT&T Stadium just didn't seem possible, and to be able to perform in front of 100,000 people, and there was 2 women's matches on that card, and that was the first time that happened at WrestleMania, and then we just keep going and we keep progressing, and making history is now the norm, that it's almost not a big deal, and that personally is where I wanted it to get to, and I think all these other women, is that we've worked and we've been good, and we have created characters that hopefully you can identify with, or that you either hate or you love, but it makes you feel something. And to be able to do that, it's phenomenal. I don't know that it's all gonna hit me, maybe one day when I sit down and write, maybe in a Ralph's or something, I'll start crying. I don't know.
And what else do you guys have you want to share? Being able to achieve so much already, are there things that you still want to knock off your bucket list, or things that you have in the future that you kind of want to take care of?
Main event WrestleMania? I'm just trying to say that.
All women's Royal Rumble.
All right, time for some individual questions here. Breezy, I'm coming your way. What's up with that mom life?
Oh my gosh, it's actually crazy because being a mom and now sitting and watching all these girls do amazing things every week, it's like I said, as a fan now. But I think being a mother, it's crazy because these dolls come out. And I have a daughter now, and I start thinking to myself, like, wow, like, these are role models. Like, these are people that now Birdie gets to look at and know what it means to be confident, what it means to be independent, where you don't need a Ken doll. And, it gives me goosebumps because I think to myself that one day I get explained to Birdie why I'm an action figure and why I'm a superstar doll. And it's because, you know, your mom was with a bunch of women and we decided to come together and just break barriers and, you know, not listen to the answer no. We're like, no, we're going to turn that into yes. And all the negativity that was always around, like short matches and what divas and women meant to WWE, we turned into a positive, and now look at it, you know, it's incredible. And so I think now as a mom, I sit back and it means way more to me, like seeing everyone's accomplishments and what we've done. It's insane that I actually get to, you know, see my daughter one day be proud of all the women in WWE.
You're at home and you're watching Raw, you're watching SmackDown, to not be in the ring and you've transitioned to this other side of your life. How does that feel for you?
Well, it's hard not to be like envious. I like look at all them like, dang, I would love to like jump off the ladder. But I'm breastfeeding and watching. And it's way different. But you know, I think it's crazy. It's like over the envious. I'm so proud. Because I think of the woman who paved the road when, you know, I came. And Nikki and I, we had a long journey. And then to see like things we did, and then to see like these women still paving the road, and then you know the girls who are coming in the future because of NXT are going to pave it even longer. So it's like you crazy. I sit at home and I'm a little jealous and envious. I'd do anything to get in there and get all Brie mode. But I also sit back and I'm really proud because I'm like, wow, I feel a part of it still. But at the same time, I'm just like, wow, WWE's in really good hands, in women's hands.
Of you out here since we saw you get engaged in the middle of the ring at WrestleMania. What have you been up to? Do you have a date? Where's the wedding at? Give us some
I keep
insight.
getting asked that question. We actually finally set a date, but I'm not going to say. Boo, I know, such a heel. But yeah, always in my heart. But yeah, that was insane, getting engaged in front of all you guys. I think my favorite part is watching it back and seeing John's voice get so shaky and just not be that super confident Cena. So I really liked that. But yeah, I'm just kind of, right now we're filming Total Divas Season 7, so we just picked up Season 7, which we're very excited about, thank you. And we just dropped Total Bella Season 2, so I'm just kind of doing the reality thing and waiting for my neck to heal because I see 2 girls on my right and 2 girls on my left, and I see my tag partner right here, and I'm kind of like, well, shoot, I want to get back. So, I know there's besties over here and besties over here. I'm like, do we sip tea or do we hug and get the boss? I don't know. But, yeah.
There's some women's tag team titles.
Ooh, see? Maybe these dolls can work. But yeah, I'm just kind of hoping my neck heals, and I hope it heals quick.
Yeah, what's the status with your neck right now? Where are you at with it?
So we found out that it's not fully fused, and I kind of have a herniation above where I had surgery, but I think with time it could heal, hopefully, so I'm trying to do whatever I can.
So fair to say
A lot of calcium. What?
Fair to say that we'll see you back in the ring at some point.
I think so.
Yeah. Bree's coming back. You all see.
Do you have any idea, like how long does it take to give birth and then wrestle again? How does that work?
21 hours for her. Yeah, 21 hours of labor. And I did 8.5 naturally, and then I was like, hell no.
Brie, beware, members in your audience may be under the age.
Oh yeah, it's very beautiful.
Do people know why it took you so long to have the baby?
So Birdie had a 14-inch head, and she was
Thank you, Daniel Bryan.
as we all can tell, Birdie is her daddy's mini-me. She came out and I was like, oh my gosh, she's really white. I'm like, whoa.
I at the gym is in the hospital room like, yes, 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 no. And, but I felt like I was pregnant for years. It was insane. And, but I will say, like, I ended up in emergency C-section, which was a bummer, but at least Birdie came out safe, and that's all that mattered to me. But it made just kind of getting ready to get back in the ring a little bad. But my husband and I talked this week. We actually went kayaking in the bay, and he's like, you know what, Brie, I think we have enough room to get a ring, and why don't we start training? And I was like, yes! I've been begging him for one. So I'm like,
I have the perfect coach, general manager. Thank you, Dana Bryan. But we're going to start training. I'm hoping 2018 I can get back in the ring.
So Charlotte, you made the big move. We had the brand shake-up. You went from Raw over to SmackDown Live. What's been the big difference from you transitioning between the two different brands?
Well, I remember being on Raw thinking, I want to be better than SmackDown. No offense, guys. And then now I'm on SmackDown going, I want to be better than Raw. But I think the biggest difference... Yeah, I said it, ladies. I think just new competition and a new group of women, a new group of men and the superstars and wanting to, be the better brand, like I said, and it automatically creates competition, and I think that's healthy. And, winning that SmackDown Women's Championship to become the first ever Triple Crown winner, I think would be awesome, but yeah.
You've been in so many historic matches, and we've seen you just break down barrier after barrier. Is there a certain match that sticks out the most to you that was most important as far as making history in WWE?
That's hard. I think WrestleMania 32. I just remember being in Gorilla, looking at Sasha and Becky and thinking they were living their dream and they'd wanted this their entire life. And then me being a part of it and knowing that I was continuing my dad's legacy, and he had spent. I get goosebumps thinking about it. But he had spent, 40 years creating this amazing legacy, and that I was continuing it that night. And to think in 2007, I was sitting front row watching his career come to an end, and never thinking that this was an option or a possibility, or that I was going to be a women's wrestler one day. And there, 7 or however many years later, I was walking the same aisle as my dad, and with him beside me, I was like, Dad, don't take the spotlight tonight, please. It's crazy. So I think that night will probably be, the most memorable of my career, and especially the debut of the Women's Championship, showing that the company was investing that much into us at the time, and look what it's become. I mean, look how many women are here today, and it's not the men. The women are representing WWE, and that says a lot.
Isn't that crazy? I think it's so crazy. I think for all of the women here, I'm pretty sure were there in Brooklyn when Stephanie McMahon had revealed that championship belt. I mean, that was such a crazy moment for everybody out there. So it's cool to see where you guys have come, and just the investment of having Raw and SmackDown out there. And so Becky, I'm coming to you now. On Instagram, we see you training, doing CrossFit all the time. How does that help you in the ring?
I think it's helped a lot because I feel like it's probably the thing that simulates what we do the most, you know what I mean? Because you can be on a treadmill or whatever, but nothing gets your heart rate like that, with burpees and jumping up and down and throwing weights over your head and everything, which is what we do in the ring. Like, we're dropping down and throwing Charlotte over my head or over my shoulder, and or she's throwing me. Yeah, we made it. So I think that's really helped. And the other thing that I love about it is the sense of community. So in WWE, we have a certain amount of talent and the staff that do CrossFit. Bayley is one of them. And we have, yes you are. So right now, what we have is an internal competition. So everybody here, by the way, if anybody does CrossFit, y'all can follow along. We're calling it the Summer Open, and we're gonna have 5 weeks of challenges. And today actually, the first workout came out, and it is horrendous. Horrendous. But they call me Cybex because I'm a machine, so I hope they will.
Becky, if it wasn't for James Ellsworth interfering in the Money in the Bank ladder matches, you could have been sitting there as Miss Money in the Bank. Do you think that there's any chance that we might be able to get to see you beat up James Ellsworth one day?
Well, I don't know. What do y'all think about that? Would anybody like to see that match? Brie, can you ask your husband? Do us a favor. I was begging. I would love that. I would love that. And I don't see why not right now. I mean, he's in the women's division pretty much. So I don't see a reason why I can't get my hands on it.
I'm sure we can start some kind of petition online. You guys are pretty good at that, right?
SummerSlam is just around the corner. Let's have it.
Becky, you can't do any chin work, so you can be okay with that.
It's all right. All I need is his arm.
So, Sasha, you have some of the most amazing in-ring gear. How do you come up with your designs? How do you kind of get it from paper to on your bod?
The gear? Of course, thanks to my wonderful husband. I knew I always wanted to be different, flashy, and blingy, and I just told my husband, like, make me look the best, please, honey, or else I'm gonna pay when you get home. And he really just chooses everything, unless it's like something really important, like WrestleMania 32. And I had my Eddie Guerrero gear, and that was like a perfect deal for WrestleMania. So there's some gear that really mean a lot to me, or like pink and yellows, which was my first ever ring gear in the Indies. And then I bring it to Monday Night Raw or my big pay-per-views, and it always means something to me.
And Sasha, your rivalry that you had with Charlotte was one of the most amazing rivalries that we've ever seen here in WWE, which is why you're at separate ends of the table. Is there somebody, a superstar past or current, that you think that you could get in the ring and kind of make some more magic like that with?
Past or current?
Whatever you follow, whichever one you want.
I think I would have to choose, oh, there's so many women, I don't know. That's so hard. Of course, me and Charlotte have done it all. We really have gone at it. Of course, Bayley, I've been in the ring with all these women, so I'll say all of you guys, let's do it all again. Do it amazing, yes.
And Bayley, I'm coming to you now. You, of all the women up here, you spent the most time down at NXT, obviously working some amazing...
Thanks, Renee.
I don't mean that as a word, I just mean timeline-wise. It was in the script. Reading the script.
I follow these questions, huh?
Not me. But just the stuff that you did down at NXT, how much is the roster different from being down at NXT or being up in the main roster? Even the fan base, how different they are.
You mean NXT roster now, or?
Yeah, just from like when you were down at NXT to moving up to the main roster, and then just looking at the fan bases between the two.
The roster is kind of similar. Like everybody, like you said, I was the last one there. So when I got to WWE, everybody was there already. So it was kind of just a bigger version of NXT. Luckily, I was, I kind of knew the Bellas would come down and Natty would come down and Fox and stuff to NXT and kind of helped us get NXT on its feet when it first started. So I kind of knew the girls and knew everybody by the time I got there. But the fan base is so different. And it's kind of good, it's kind of bad. Like NXT is more of a smaller community, I guess. I like to compare it to like a family because NXT fans really saw us from the ground up and they watched us all grow. They all saw my first match ever in NXT. They all saw their first matches in NXT, so they watched us grow and watched us make it to WWE, so they kind of know us. I don't know, I like to think they're like family. And there's smaller crowds, obviously, when we travel to shows and stuff. And NXT is only like once a month filmed. So now we're like live every Monday on Raw, and that's a huge difference to me.
And on a more positive note, because you are a total badass, we go back to WrestleMania this past year when you outlasted everybody to retain the Raw Women's Championship. What do you plan on doing? Like, what else could top that for you? Like that moment of you having your first WrestleMania match?
Once I got past the entrance when I slipped on the inflatable tube mat, was a good start. I didn't think I would end up winning that match. I was like, oh no, this is bad. I am not ready. So next WrestleMania, when I have an entrance, I'm not gonna slip. And I hope, I like when everybody's involved in everything, but I'd really like to just have a singles match. I'm a little selfish in that, but I'd like to have a singles match at WrestleMania one day. One day. It was incredible. It was, in Orlando, so I had my NXT family there, and to be in the ring with Sasha and Charlotte, who I, came up with, I couldn't have asked for a better match.
Big week for you, Bayley. Not only did you get your own fashion doll, but you also got some gummy bears too, right?
Oh yeah, dang, I didn't bring them out here. FYE, I got Bayley gummy bears. It's incredible. I don't know where I left them in the back, but if you guys go to FYE, buy some gummy bears and some bootios and some t-shirts, and give them to your friends.
They're only 100 calories per 13. Look at it.
Only 13 a day, guys. It's 100 calories. There's a lot in there.
All right, so now we're going to open up the floor to you guys. We've got a microphone to the back there. Be nice to each other. Don't hit anyone in line, and we'll start taking your questions.
Lower it. Go. Such a nap.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, so cute. Someone help.
Somebody want to
Give her. Somebody help the young lady. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Oh, I thought she did it by herself. Yeah.
This question is for everybody.
Oh.
What is the craziest thing that happened backstage?
I don't know if we're allowed to say.
You want that tea, huh?
Well, where do we start?
Shoo. You guys. Okay.
Well, Brie one time. Yeah.
What? Hey, I'm trying to get a job, so. Actually, something crazy I'll never forget. When my husband, Daniel Bryan, was wrestling Randy Orton, and he got a stinger, so they cut it, they stopped his match, and he was very confused, and it was live on Raw. So he came back, and, I was in there, and we all were like, oh, he has a concussion. And he comes back, and he's like, who stopped my match? And Vince is like, I did. And he's like, why? And I'm like, no, Brian, no. You have a stinger, no. And I'm like trying to take him out, but it was pretty crazy. I was like, I've never seen so much passion with my husband. And then, but everyone was cool because they're like.
He was screaming at everyone and cussing, and Bree's trying to stop him, but I'm in the back with popcorn, yes. Because I've never heard him cuss before, so I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. But he was scary with the beard and the long hair. And I was like, what happened?
Everyone was like, note to self, don't cut Daniel Bryan's match. So.
Anyone else? This was TLC when my dad was my manager, and in the match he actually thought I really got hurt, but he was a very important piece in what was gonna happen at the end. So instead of taking off the turnbuckle, he was at my feet going, honey, are you okay? I'm like, Dad, I'm fine. You're supposed to be taking off the turnbuckle. You're about to ruin the entire end of the match. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, you would think it was fun. Oh. And sometimes he would just woo randomly during the match when it's not about him at that time. I'm like, can you stop wooing? You're supposed to be focusing on me or my opponent. But if he had not gotten to that turnbuckle, the match wouldn't have ended up how it was supposed to end up. So the amount of stress and gray hair he gave me that first year, you have no idea.
I have to say, Charlotte and Rick are extremely entertaining backstage. Imagine taking, Dad,
The struggle it was so real.
I just want to point out that September 19th, your guys' book comes out, right?
lot of stories about all the ladies up here, so yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's the craziest.
We're like, what?
She had to kiss him, so I'm sure that was the moment.
He hasn't stopped calling me since. Just kidding.
Under 18.
Hi there, my name is Hank Romero. I'm with the Wrestling with Reality podcast. My question is for all the superstars on stage, and this includes Renee as well. What is the best veteran advice you have received that has forever changed your work as a performer for the better? Who gave it to you? And also, are any of you related to Kurt Angle?
I wish.
So I got the best advice from Rey Mysterio when I first got in the business. And Rey told me, because I was so nervous for my debut, I wanted to vomit. I just felt like I couldn't see straight. And Rey was like, honestly, the day you don't feel this is the day you shouldn't be in the business. He's like, every night when you wrestle, you should be walking out feeling this. And I was like, you know what? And it's true. Every night we all like are in gorilla, nervous, want to vomit because we want to perform perfect for all of you. And he's so right. It's like that feeling you'll always have, and if it does go away, you shouldn't be doing what you're doing.
Yeah. I've gotten so much praise. I remember that. I have to say it was my first match, like up on the roster. It was a live event, and I'll never forget Scotty Armstrong, who was a referee at the time, who's now a producer, was like, "Breathe, baby girl," and I was like, "Oh yeah, this works. Okay, it's great." And I will like still 10 years later, we look at each other, "Breathe, baby girl," and I'm like, "Yeah, I got it. Okay." So yeah, that's one of the most that I remember.
I think I would have to choose from Dusty, and he would just always tell me, "Just be you, baby. Just do you." And I'll always take that with me.
Yeah.
Oh, mine
Thank
are
you.
same. My trainer back home, Jason Styles, said he actually learned it from Mae Young. The same thing was to. The day that you are not nervous is the day that you should leave. So every day, right before we go out, like, why am I doing this to myself? I'm putting all this stress and all, yeah, why do I do this? And then I come back after, and I'm like, oh, that's why I do it.
I was told one of the most important moments when you, I guess, come out for the match is right when you walk through the curtain. And for me, I think, because I'm always so nervous, like, and I'm in gorilla before I go out, I'm like, why do I do this? I'm so nervous. I feel sick every Tuesday, regardless. It never gets old, but it's knowing who you are when you walk through that curtain, knowing your character, know what you represent, and know what you want the fans to feel, and you control that second you come out through the curtain. So it's just believing and knowing who you are, was what I was told, and that has always stuck with me.
William Regal always tells me that it's like riding a wave. It's like surfing. So you just gotta be on the wave, and you just gotta go with it. Because sometimes you're down, sometimes you're up, but there's always gonna be more waves. So you're gonna get a ride one.
Yeah, that's a good one. And I have one more from, I know, but it actually, it is from John Cena. But he's always told me, and I literally do ask myself when I would wrestle, and hopefully I could ask myself this again, is why are you fighting? And I feel like that's always been the best question. And even if you all watch Glow, like when the girls said it, like, wait, why are we fighting? We need to have a story. But then she wanted to fight over bread and do some Gone with the Wind type of thing. But I thought I was like, wow, it's so true. I feel like it makes everything better. Why are we fighting? And so that's something that's always stuck with me.
I guess mine would probably be from Dean Ambrose. I mean, he gave me advice to just like, what a lovely man he is. He gave me advice early on of just like, you know who you are and you know what brought you here to do this, to be good at what you do. And it's like, it's really just staying true to why you got into doing something and keeping that love for it and kind of just living in that element and being present with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So my girlfriend wanted to ask, what was the match that each of you had to train and practice the most because of how intense and potentially dangerous the spots were?
Mine was the Iron Woman because it was 30 long minutes.
I would say the same. A lot of cardio getting ready for that match.
Yeah. Mine would be when I went against Stephanie McMahon and it was like, don't hurt the boss, or I won't have a job.
I actually would have to say mine would be Hell in a Cell against the girl to my right, Charlotte, because I knew that there was something severely wrong with my neck. So I had to, it was just a totally different mental game for me going into that match, and also wanting to be impressive because I was in with Charlotte Flair, and so that was definitely mentally and physically the most preparation I've ever had.
Oh man, I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's just so many.
History making.
I guess in terms of being prepared, obviously, there's just so many. I don't know, but I think my NXT match where I won the NXT title versus Natalya was probably the match that I had to prepare the most for because, one, I wasn't sure I was ready for the position, and two, I hadn't been wrestling that long, and I wanted to show the world that I was more than just my last name, and I was just literally scared. So it wasn't as much preparing as for the moves, like, oh, can I do a moonsault? It was just mentally psyching myself up to know that I could do this and that I wanted to be remembered and make a name for myself. So I think that NXT match is probably one of the most important ones in my career.
Yeah, it's so maybe I'm just thinking in terms of so like the ladder match, for example. So it's a matter of like handling these ladders, and because we've got smaller hands and things like that than the guys, and they're heavy and they weigh a lot. So it's just a matter of trying to figure out how to maneuver them, and then even the tables match, like trying to figure out, pulling it out of the ring, because all these things weigh a lot. So I think it's those kind of matches that I really have to go in and like figure out the apparatuses. Apparati.
Thank you all for coming. You ladies are all truly exceptional talents, and you are future Hall of Famers. So thank you for everything you did. For Lori, thank you for showing us all these great products today, some really excellent looking products, but I'm a little surprised with the lack of new products for the history-making women's champion, Alexa Bliss, a two-brand champion. Also, the first women's Money in the Bank winner,
Next question.
Carmella, the rightful next women's champion, Carmella, and the woman who is going to win at Battleground on Sunday against Charlotte and Becky Lynch, the lovely Lana. So where are they?
That's summer 2018.
I can turn heel real quick, because I've been baby for like 3 minutes.
The secret to really smart marketing and really smart business is keeping people waiting.
Hold on.
I know. Oh my gosh. How cute.
Oh, it's your little girl.
Sasha Banks.
Oh,
yes. I love you.
You can come up here. Come on up.
yeah, come here. Oh, you're so good.
We should give her some gummy bears.
that's why we do it, because of that. Oh, my heart.
Well, I don't know how I'm going to follow that. But I have one question. I'm Brian from Vancouver, British Columbia. And I'm training with Lance Storm in a month and a half.
Yeah, great choice.
And I was wondering, do you have any advice for the kids that would want to grow up to be wrestlers one day? And what steps would they have to take?
Go to Lance Storm.
Yeah. Believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. That was another bit of advice that was given to me, and it was awesome. And it's just about hard work. It's about dedication and passion. And I think those are the three ingredients that will take you to the moon and back. Because if you have that, then there's nothing that can stop you. Heck, I failed PE, and I'm sitting up here. Like, if I can do it, anybody can do it. It's just about putting in the hard work and just doing it. And you've got a great teacher.
Yeah. And I think too, like, you're gonna have so many times where you're gonna want to give up, and it's just gonna be really hard, and you're gonna hear negativity from people, or you're gonna feel really bad about yourself. But it's like getting through those moments and be like, no, actually, I can do this, and there's a reason why I'm here, and it's not giving up. Not that I'm taking John's stuff, but it is.
Never give up, Brie.
Yes, never give up.
Never give up. Okay.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Can never escape it.
Speaking of.
What was the best moment of each of your careers?
Well, the guy's shirt that you're wearing when he got down on one knee at WrestleMania.
Now, when you tagged with your sister at WrestleMania against Paige and AJ?
Well, if we won, it would definitely be the best moment.
I guess you're right.
Mine's Brooklyn.
There's so many. Besides getting signed by WWE, I think, NXT Brooklyn.
And I actually have to say, I mean, I love when I tagged with Nikki, but going in a storyline with Stephanie McMahon was like at the top of my career. It was really cool to work with her and Triple H and learned so much, but it would have to be going against Stephanie at SummerSlam.
Can I have two? So one of them is WrestleMania 32, being able to be in the ring with Sasha and Charlotte, and then unveil the Women's Championship, and then winning the first ever SmackDown Women's Championship was also.
Thank you.
Thank you. This next question, unfortunately, does have to be our last question. No pressure.
What does it feel like fighting your own friend? Like if you have friends in WWE?
You hit your friends harder.
Or sister.
It's very true.
I think it makes it more fun.
Yeah, more fun, totally.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think you have really good.
Good. All right, well, thank you guys all so much for coming out. This has been so much fun to have the reveal with the Mattel dolls here with you, the action figures, and here at San Diego Comic-Con. Thank you to all of